In this video, we will discuss about some more relevant terms and topics of the chapter lines and angles. Okay, see, vertically opposite angle. Vertically opposite angles, when two lines intersect each other, then angles so formed are called as vertically opposite angles. And according to the theorem 6.1 given in our textbook, NCERT textbook, and vertically opposite angles are equal to each other. Like line PQ and RS intersect each other at point O, and angles so formed are angle 1, angle 2, angle 3 and angle 4. So vertically opposite angles will be equal to each other. Like angle 1 is opposite to angle 2, so angle 1 will be equals to angle 2, and angle 3 is opposite to angle 4, so angle 3 will be equals to angle 4. Angle 1 is equals to angle 2, angle 3 is equals to angle 4. And if we go according to the name of the angle, so it will be angle POR is equals to angle QOS. POR is equals to QOS. Why? Because P and Q are corresponding. Okay, P is corresponding to Q and R is corresponding to S. Okay, here I have written correspondence of each of the point. P is corresponding to Q, O is corresponding to O, and R is corresponding to S. Okay, so angle POR will be equal to angle QOS, and angle POS will be equals to angle QOR. Okay, so whenever two lines intersect each other, then vertically opposite angles are equal. Okay, see, next, linear pair of angles. Linear pair of angles. If a ray stands on a line, okay, like here if we see AOB is a line and CO is a ray which is standing on a line AOB. Okay, if a ray stands on a line, straight line, then the sum of two adjacent angles is 180 degree. Like AOB is a straight line, OC is a ray standing on the line, and this two angles, angle AOC and angle BOC are the adjacent angles. Okay, then the two adjacent angles forming above the line will have their sum equals to 180 degree. So this is linear pair. This is called linear pair of angles, and this is axiom 6.1 given in our NCERT textbook. Okay, now vice versa, reverse of this axiom, axiom 6.2. Axiom 6.2 says that if the sum of two adjacent angles is 180 degree, like XOZ and YOZ are two adjacent angles having OZ as a common arm, and their sum is 180 degree, then the non-common arms of the two adjacent angles will form a straight line. Clearly, if we see XOZ, YOZ, angles are XOZ and YOZ, O is the common vertex here and OZ is the common arm. Okay, when two adjacent angles have sum 180 degree, then their non-common arms are OX and OY. Their non-common arms will form a straight line. Okay, this is our axiom 6.2 given in the textbook. Okay, now see, parallel lines and transversal. Angles made by parallel lines and transversal. See, if we have two lines here, P and Q, it is given that Q is parallel to R. Okay, Q is parallel to R and P is transversal falling over these two lines, intersecting these two lines. Q is parallel to R and line P is transversal intersecting the two parallel lines. Then angles so formed will be corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, and co-interior angles. And let us see what will be their properties. Okay, first of all, what are corresponding angles? As Q is parallel to R and P is the transversal, then angle 2 is corresponding to angle 6 or you can say angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding, angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding, angle 4 and angle 8 are corresponding, angle 3 and angle 7 are corresponding. And if the lines are parallel and transversal intersects those two lines, then corresponding angles are equal. Okay, then corresponding angles are equal. Corresponding angles 2 and 6 will be equal, corresponding angle 4 and 8 will be equal, corresponding angle 1 and 5 will be equal, and corresponding angle 3 and 7 will be equal. Okay, again I am repeating that if the two lines are parallel and a transversal intersects those two parallel lines, then pair of corresponding angles will be equal. And reverse of this, vice versa of this, that if the pair of corresponding angles are equal, okay, for the lines which is intersected by a transversal, then the two lines will be parallel to each other. Suppose in case it is given that angle 2 is equals to angle 6 and angle 3 is equals to angle 7. Okay, two pairs of corresponding angles, angle 2 and angle 6 and angle 3 and angle 7 are equal. Okay, and you are not given given that Q is parallel to R. Only you are given that only it is given that corresponding angles are equal and QR is some line, and this QR lines QR, these lines QRs are intersected by a transversal line P. Then the two lines will be parallel to each other. Okay, if corresponding angles are equal, then the two lines or two or more lines will be parallel to each other. Now, alternate interior angles. Second one is alternate interior angles. See, if two lines are parallel, Q and R are parallel lines and P is a transversal falling and intersecting the two lines, then angle 4 and angle 5 are alternate interior angles, and angle 3 and angle 6 are alternate interior angles. Okay, and the property says that if the two lines are parallel, then alternate interior angles will be equal. Means angle 4 is equals to angle 5, angle 3 is equals to angle 6. These are alternate interior angles. And reverse of this, vice versa of this, if for any pair of lines, for any given pair of lines or two or more lines, and when transversal is intersecting the lines, and it is also given that alternate interior angles are equal, then in that case the two or more lines will be parallel to each other. In simple words, if alternate interior angles are equal, then the lines will be parallel to each other. Okay, now see, third one is alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles. See, exterior angles, alternate and exterior. Angle 1 and angle 8 are alternate and they are exterior also. Okay, similarly angle 2 and angle 7 are alternate and they are exterior also. So alternate exterior angles are, pair of alternate exterior angles are 1 and 8, angle 1 and 8, and angle 2 and angle 7. Okay, and if you are given that the two lines are parallel and a transversal is falling, Q is parallel to R and P is transversal, then pair of alternate exterior angles will be equal. Means angle 1 is equals to angle 8 and angle 2 is equals to angle 7. And reverse of this, opposite of this is if for any given pair of angles and transversal, if alternate exterior angles are equal, then the two lines will be parallel to each other, or two or more lines will be parallel to each other. Okay, now co-interior angles. Co-interior angles, see, P and Q are the lines and P is transversal. Okay, so their co-interior angles will be angle 4 and angle 6. Pair of co-interior angles are angle 4 and angle 6 and angle 3 and angle 5. 4 and 6 are co-interior and 3 and 5 are co-interior angles. Okay, if you are given that two lines Q and R are parallel and P is transversal, then the sum of interior angles on the same side of transversal. See, P is the transversal. So on the same side of, on this side of transversal, which two angles are interior? 4 and 6. Okay, and this side of transversal, which two angles are interior? 3 and 5. Okay, if two lines are parallel, then sum of interior angles on the same side of transversal is supplementary or 180 degree. Okay, if P is parallel to R, if Q is parallel to R and P is a transversal, then sum of these interior angles is supplementary, and these angles on either side will be also supplementary. Angle 4 plus angle 6 and angle 3 and angle 5. Sum of angle 3 and angle 5 will be 180 degrees, or you can say supplementary. Okay, and it's vice versa or reverse also is true, that if the sum of interior angles on the same side of transversal is supplementary or 180 degree, then the two lines are parallel. Okay, now see, next, this is the theorem 6.5 or 6.4 given in our textbook, I think. Okay, it is given that the lines which are parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Okay, see, suppose we have two lines L and N. Okay, and it is given that L is parallel to M. L is parallel to M and M is parallel to N. This line M is parallel to line N. Okay, then the two lines L and N which are parallel to the same line M will be parallel to each other. Line L will be parallel to line N. Okay, the lines which are parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Line L and line N are parallel to the same line, line M. Okay, so line L will be parallel to line N, because theorem is lines parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Okay, these were the important related terms of chapter number 6. Which this is given before exercise 6.1, and these things are given before exercise 6.2. I have written in very short, okay, because only these things are used for solving the questions. So you must know and you must understand before starting the exercise questions. Okay.